Hey, what's up, YouTube? HBIC here. Vexicus 466, Maxi Vexy the Queen, and I'm at Austin, Texas with my good friend Nikhil. Nikhil, what did you do this weekend?
I played in a couple regional fights and had a fun deck to show. Got to the finals and was playing against Fiendsmith Snake Eye, Fiendsmith U-Bell. Very good matchups, and I think this deck is creative and it's going to be fun.
And you think this deck is going to be one of the future decks that's going to be topping, or
especially after the ban list? I think you're going to see this deck all over the place. I think this is a very strong deck, and we'll see where things land.
All right, let's see what you got.
All right.
By the way, cute token.
Absolutely. It's all of our friends, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we start with 3 Stellar, 3 LZ.
This deck is blingy, shiny.
2 Sylvie, and 2 Rusia for the monster core of the White Forest. We have 2 Tails of the White Forest and 1 Rose of the White Forest to round out the White Forest package. Next, we have the toy package, which is 3 Soldier, 1 Tank, and 3 Toy Box. These are absolutely cracked. It's a once per copy, and it's a soft once per turn, and it can do quite a bit of damage if you line things up correctly. Next, we're going to go into the Centurion engine. We have 1 Trudea, 1 Primera. We have 1 Stand Up, 1 Wake Up, and 1 Phalanx. So this package, you don't often want to draw into it if you don't have to. You can play more Stand Up if you want to as a sort of a starter. This package can by itself set up Calamity if you want to, but it's better to go into it as part of your line than it is to draw it. Next is non-engine. We played 1 Effect Failure. It's searchable off of one of the synchros. Didn't really need more of them. Droll, got 3 Ash, 1 Talents, Triple Thrust, Triple Imperm, and the last card is Silhat Trick to go along with one of the extra deck monsters. So on to the extra deck. We're going to talk about the White Forest stuff first. We got 1 Arciela, 1 Silvera, 1 Diabel. Onto the Centurions, you've got Centurion Legatia and Auxilla. And then the other 12s that you have, Crimson Dragon, and the 2 Crimson Dragon targets are Blazar and King Calamity.
That needs to be banned ASAP.
I do think that if Calamity's banned, you just bring in Red Supernova, and that becomes a replacement for it. I don't think this is the end-all be-all. You can still do so much even if you have Blazar. Just keep in mind all the tricky rules of Blazar. It is a fun card. Then we go into sort of the utility synchros. We have a Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. This card is pretty cracked. Just banish whatever your opponent tries to use. Then we have Black Winged Assault Dragon. You can make this with any of the 6s and a 4. This just ends up being very useful as a time card, but also if you can't close out a game, this is a way to sort of get that extra damage and stop your opponent from coming back. Chaos Angel, this card, if you can make it as part of the combo, you just completely ignore mid, you completely ignore Effect Failure, you ignore a lot of things sort of going into it. Angel is a very strong card, especially if you can make it with Trudea and a Light, then your opponents can't break the board in that sense. But even just Light is a very strong card. Next, we talked about this card, Silhouette Rabbit. With the number of monsters that you summon from your spell trap zone, this card can get pretty cracked in terms of what it can pop. And it doesn't, if let's say your board gets broken or your back row gets hit, if they summon anything, it will still trigger 2.
Got it.
And then some of the other utility, we have an IP, and then we have an SP, and a Baguska. And out of the sideboard, we have Triple Crossout. And the 2 targets that I was playing for Crossout sort of in the side specifically were Nib and D-Barrier.
Just 1 of them?
Just 1, because the point is that I didn't want to use it. The point is that it's just meant as a Crossout target, so I'd side into it going second so I wouldn't get blown out by Barrier. Though the irony is, I think I set this more I drew it and set it more and actually found quite a bit of value. Against Ubel, I named Fusion, and if people forget that Fiendsmith sequence requires you to fuse.
Right.
So they will get to that point and then ask that question, can I fuse? And
Answer's no.
yes. So some back row hate, Harpies plus triple Cosmic, just standard triple evenly to board break, and I find this pretty valuable. Now going first, I had a couple extra tools as well. If there was anything in particular, like if I'm going up against Shifter, if I'm going up against anything like that, I try to bring in Called By, as it protects me against Shifter. And Shifter is sort of a game ender for us.
Right.
It really slows us down, really stops us. And then 2 utility traps that I was playing going first. Anti-spell, sort of a way to stop pretty much any deck that requires
A lot of spell cards.
spell cards. Black Goat doing its thing. You can have it engrave and it can do its thing, or you can set it in hand to do its thing. Thrust being the way to search all of this is pretty efficient. I think that this deck is very, very strong. It has a lot of different utility, has a lot of different lines. One card combo can, even without Toy Box, can end you on a board of Auxilla plus the ability to Calamity on your opponent's turn. There are ways to Calamity in draw phase if you line it up in that way, but it's not consistent to do that. You can do it in the main phase. Just remember, Calamity can miss timing.
Any shout outs you want to give?
Absolutely. We got Cordero, the cameraman here, being an absolute blast to be around this weekend and having a lot of fun.
Oh, shucks.
And then to John and Lucian for helping with deck ideas and to help sort of finalize the list. And of course, Cordero, one more time, for playtesting. I
You
appreciate
did a lot of play testing.
all that help. It made a big difference going into.
Even though I play Ubel only, but I'm still play testing.
I mean, hey, I told you 2 U-Bell matches in that regional flag. It was
And it helped.
Yeah. So I certainly will say that it was a good time. I think I've had a lot of fun this weekend. I will say that I'm looking forward to Snake Eye getting hit.
Preach.
I think this format is very, very like watching the mirrors. You see a lot of it being comparing your hands and sort of what it ends
It's
up
like
as.
it's a hand trap format.
Hand trap format, and can you draw better than me? That's basically what it comes down to. The difference is this deck sort of plays on a different angle, and one card starter with a Stellar being able to end on a board of Blazar, Auxilla, and Crimson Dragon to go into Calamity just feels very, very strong. And that's assuming you don't even have to go into the Toy Box engine. If you get access to Toy Box engine, you get access to Chaos Angel to protect your plays even further. So keep that in mind. But this board is pretty difficult for anybody to crack on the swing back. One last final shout out. We're gonna shout out ARLA. ARLA Games was a big help in making this event happen, and their games are an absolute blast to play. Check out Monster Capture Race on arlagames.com.
All right, thanks.